Hey there, dear Leos. This is Kim with your next 3-day messages here. Starting off with a reading that was left on my table from a private reading, and then a card that flew off off of this deck actually onto the floor. I'm looking down before I'm starting your reading, and I see the prison card in the reverse, and then it goes just well with this change card. So this to me is saying that we're going to be focusing on Leo's feeling of freedom. Thank you for being here. These messages are for your Most High, and I invite the angels and your spirit guides to join me to give these messages. But yeah, that prison card can be like, when we feel like we've been trapped in some sort of way. Maybe it's in our mind, maybe it's in our head, but yeah. So in some way, you're going to be free or feeling more free. Hey, what messages do you have for Leos, please, today? The mirror. What we're reflecting, the mirror. You be the judge. It's your perception. It's all about your perception. It will be about your perception, because what do you see in the mirror? I mean, I know with the actual mirror in my life that for a very long time my perception was very off. It was hard during certain periods of my life to see the good in myself. It was kind of easy to see the good in other people, but for some reason it was hard to notice the good. So this is changing, or something about your perception is changing. It doesn't have to be actually I think it is self-perception. I think so. This is confidence. This is the Leo that you're like meant to be. Oh goodness. And the shadow. What's the shadow coming out? What is the shadow showing you? Oh, and the starborn. What is the shadow showing them? All right. So we have the shadow. It takes awareness to know what the shadow is. So are we seeing something that is a reflection of a shadow that we need to deal with? Are we having some area in our life where the freedom, like our own freedom, is being, it feels like something is being reflected to us that limits our freedom? And it has to do with the freedom that you need to unlock within yourself. It's something to do with shadow work here. Okay, everybody's shadow is going to be a little different. It's something that's against your nature, and you're healing it, You're integrating it. You're seeing something for what it is. This is self-aware. This is clarity and self-awareness. And the starborn, well, what can we say about the starborn? Everything. The starborn is the person that is here that has a big destiny to fill. You have a big role. So it's like we can't let the shadow get in the way. You know what I mean? That's like what they're saying. But I see stars reflected. So the starborn, it's a person that feels as if they're not necessarily from here, that they embody the energy, I would feel like, of unity, love, consciousness, from a very early age. Like, not something that you would have to necessarily work on. Not saying that your life has been perfect or your choices have been perfect, but that pureness, the intention that comes from the heart is what, to me, it feels like it's what makes you a starborn in this reading. Ooh. So I'm tapping into angelic frequency as I say that. I can feel it. It's kind of big. It's big. Like ninth density. I don't know why that's coming out, but like ninth density is coming out. So there's more to this. There's something here about the starborn actually being linked, something that like part of your path to overcome. Okay. Yeah, they're saying like as a starborn, whereas somebody that maybe has come here from a higher density to experience the harshness and the realness of this world would be overwhelming, overstimulating, and it might lead, okay, to different things. So I'm feeling like could have had to deal with different mental issues such as racing thoughts or feeling like ADD-ish before understanding like the power of this energy that you carry. That might have led to this is just an example of how a shadow could come about as just part of your destiny to overcome. But okay, so let's say that happens and you get some sort of diagnosis. You just kind of you're here, right? You're trusting whoever you're trusting, and then they put you on some sort of medicine and it kicks in this escape mechanism, this feeling of, oh, okay, now I can not have to be so overwhelmed with my own energy, okay, and your own transmissions. And then that could lead to a shadow like a problem with addiction, or always constantly seeking to be somewhere other than in your own energy because it was so overwhelming. Okay, it has something to do with your starborn path. It doesn't have to be an addiction. It could be maybe a shadow aspect is shutting off certain parts of yourself that were gifts, but could have definitely been looked at as a curse for a long time. So it's your destiny to overcome, or to not necessarily overcome, because this is about unity. This is about wholeness. It's about love for the whole picture, right? So integrate would be a better word probably to use. You're here to integrate this, and then it's always been part of your path. Using the wise salt card with the wise judgment now is your magic, like your wisdom now is like your magic you took from the knowledge that you have gained from your experiences. What do I have? I have lightning card. I have vinegar card. It looks like it's almost in the reverse. I have silver twice. Okay. Something is about cleaned. Something is about cleaned out of your life. Something is past the point. Like, I'm getting just a feeling of past even the point of healing. It's time to, something is going to be wrapped up. Something new is going to emerge or hatch from this. There was some sort of cycle. And I feel like it was rooted here with this card. I feel like there was a cycle that was rooted in having a very hard time handling some really heavy emotions here. This could have been something that really even started at, like a trigger could have been at childhood, like a root cause of something. And I feel like that's being cleaned, that's being lifted. There's something here that's being... that's completed, right? And then this pearl is that wisdom, the wise salt. That's kind of like the embodiment here of everything that you've learned that's now a pearl. So releasing any kind of memory of the perception at that time is, I feel like, it's going to be necessary. So this can be talking about inner child work, or even just work on yourself from the hermit's path of reflecting, looking back, and then seeing, actually looking at the emotions. If they were heavy, if they were dark or deep inside, then you can adjust that feeling with your visualization, and then make it real. And then it starts changing things, like talk about quantum leaping, when you can change how you feel or your perspective on how something, especially if it was negative or felt off or not good to you. When you can do that and you can visualize it, you've done it. And then you've altered timelines. for the better for you. So it's interesting that you have two of the silver. This can mean really good things coming into your life, this silver card. It's also associated with the divine feminine energy, and this quicksilver is kind of like it's like a metal that is in two states at one time. So you could find that either you could find that you're always shifting back and forth with every conscious decision, especially if you can actually figure out how to reprogram the subconscious, the things you're unconscious about, but you know that they're driving at times. When you can figure out how to do that, things get moving. You can feel like you're in this like one day I'm in this timeline, things are going good, and then I pull back and it goes into another state, or it goes into another timeline, because I'm getting like timeline things, major shifts coming up. This could be indicating that things are going to pick up for you in many different ways, in many different facets of your life, because there is something that you are doing that's altering the perception. I'm not always seeing this shadow energy as necessarily a bad thing. I'm seeing it as like needing to change your perspective on your own shadow and not judge it. Not judge it. Understand that it came from a place where things were lined up in a certain way, and things just happened. But try not to judge yourself, your experience, from the shadow. The shadow is like a shadow cast from an experience. Probably has a lot to do with the starborn. I hope I'm making sense here, because this is about changing your perception of what you feel like is a shadow, and then you see how it merges together. It's because they're trying to bring about unity, and see how everything, even that we call shadow, is integrated, or can be integrated, and can have a higher understanding of it, meaning you can pull the love from anything. It's always present. So that silver card says you're about to shine. You're about to shine. There's just some residue or something on top of that silver, something that just needs to be wiped off, polished off, and then Leo's good to go. Now, you know what's interesting about me saying that is that the silver just needs to be cleaned. The vinegar is an excellent cleaner. It's an excellent cleaner. Okay. So, when you go back and you are able to change your perspective on a memory that doesn't feel good to you, essentially, vinegar has now become the cleaner for the rest of your timelines to align up for your highest good, for the most positive outcome. So there's just another way of looking at it, of how something not so great can be turned into something quite divine that alters the whole timeline. Because what if it is just that one thing that was like subconsciously driving everything, and then you change it? Then suddenly that one bad thing or one bad experience now became the key that you needed to know about for your destiny. Now, that's pretty amazing. Okay, I'm going to do it like this time. I'm going to cut it. We're going to do two, we'll look at the energies for each day from the Urban Tarot. Nice. I have your energy here on the bottom. I love it. The King of Wands. King of Wands. Death to the optical illusion. Sometimes it's completely not necessarily clear as to why something has occurred as a shadow in our life, or why we are seeing things reflected back to us the way that we are. But this is about like overcoming faulty perception. Flamingos. Okay, flamingos on the bottom says soulmates, lovers, union, courtship, dating, attraction, seduce, long-term potential, display of affection, charm, the it factor, two of a kind, alluring, and a je ne sais quoi. So a certain something about you. I thought you were freeing yourself from this energy. When we started the reading off with the prison in the reverse, I saw that Eight of Swords energy with that. Okay, so I think you are freeing yourself from a situation where you just got too comfortable. You got too fixed, right? Fixed sign. Got a little fixed in a situation and feel like, could be feeling like you settled into something. Just had the needs met, maybe. You know what I mean? On a material way. Like, just had the needs met, but there was this feeling of, I want to be free from complacency. Interference, it says on the card. There certainly is interference. It's in it's perception, though. It's in the mind. I'm going to have to get clarification because I want to find out more about this Four of Cups. Sometimes we are in the Four of Cups because we're waiting on another energy to come into our lives. Now, don't know if it's a person that it comes through. Bringing in the right ear. Interesting. Or if it is a energy with the money changing. I don't know what it, sometimes we're waiting on a bigger energy and we're okay in the Four of Cups. Sometimes it's like, I'm all right. I'm not going to worry too much about something. It's kind of like getting into that place of, well, I'm here now, but until the energy shifts, energy changes. Okay, so the water carrier says humanitarian, generosity, nobility, balance, a calm life, communication, compassion, unselfish, alleviate suffering, benefactor, care for others, humane, helpful, ethical. And the bonfire card says enthusiasm, energy, heated, intense, joy, ignite, passion, ecstasy, exhilaration, spark, community, sharing ideas, getting things going, orgasm, fanaticism, fever, and fierce. Yeah, we'll get clarification on that. We'll figure out what's going on with that. I have good news coming in. For your day 2 energy, I do have good news maybe regarding finances. With the Page of Disc. This could be a message of an offer, even though I don't always pick that up, but I feel like it could be an offer here because the Six of Swords is when we might literally be going into a different place. So this might be indicating moving. Let's see what these have to say. It's because there's some sort of there's some sort of opportunity tied to this. The train says moving on, and it's a 6 also. Life's journey, a new endeavor, going away, one direction, on track, focus, on time, keep going forward, going with the flow, inflexible, steady climb, and no resistance. And then Leo got the fairy tale. Believe the impossible, daydreams, romantic ending, universal archetypes, hopeful magic, unicorns and rainbows, aspire, happily ever after, fanciful stories we tell. The fairy tale. I don't know. So you're going towards a fairy tale. Wow. Flamingos, soulmates, and the lovers lining up. Okay, so for some of you all, this is definitely about a connection. It feels like this might be a new one with the lovers at a crossroads in your life where you're ready to leave something behind. Or like both of these cards, the Eight of Cups and the Six of Swords, kind of indicate to me as a reader that you're maybe even actually like already emotionally detached from something and actually headed in a different direction. And it's because of this major crossroads in your life. Do you see how this is? Oh my goodness. Do you see that? Now you have flamingos, soulmates, the lovers, and then you have tandem bicycle. Synchronized alliance, duo, partnership, unison, equality, collaboration, togetherness. Hook up. Yeah, the eyeglasses says seeing clearly, awareness. Okay, whatever it is that the shadow had you in, a certain energy, repeating what at one time was give you enjoyment, but now doesn't give you satisfaction. If that's tied to a shadow, then there's something here about the perception and the awareness of seeing something very clearly that you need to move away from, if you want. All right, I'm going to get some clarification, and I think I want to use the zombie deck. I love the zombie deck. I am getting a new deck, if you will, a new tarot deck to be using, a sci-fi tarot deck, so I'm really excited about it. I hope it's a good deck. I hope. All right, we want to know about the Eight of Swords and the Four of Cups. I really want to know more about what the Four of Cups is here for Leos. Wow, okay, another Four of Cups. That's a lot. Oh, wow. All right, I have the Emperor, I have the Fool, I have the Five of Wands, and the Four of Cups. So I see somebody that's asserting themselves. This can be you. This can be your energy. If it is a soulmate energy, it's like an emperor energy, a really big, influential person, a boss energy, a really, and there may be a new beginning with that person. However, I'm seeing it for most of you as like you taking charge here and asserting yourself from this Four of Cups feeling and going into a new direction for this new journey with the Fool. So this is like actually taking action on it. However, there has been obstacles. There has been energies that feel like it's making it harder for you. But they're telling me it's getting harder and harder to stay in this energy. 4, 4, 4. So that's a big new start, and it's a big message to have the Four of Cups come out twice. So in the distant horizons, and I had the sudden wealth card coming out. Actually, let's use this deck as it's got more cards. The Siren song. You'll be coming out of this, oh, woe is me, or things are always going to be this way, they're never going to change. You're coming out of this because there's a significant ending here taking place, or something going out of your life that was causing problem. It was causing uneasy, dis-ease feeling. So something about your worries being lifted here. We were around a snake, that's why. You are around a snake in some way. I think that's where the ending is going to be. Yeah, and the change and the journey. Yes. I also have the white cat on the bottom. Could very well be that you had a friend that was actually a foe. You know what I mean? So this can be slander. This can be sabotage. I mean, whatever it is, they're usually not it's not representing a good person in this deck. So there's change here, and there may be significant material wealth here associated with this change, but this might be relocation for some of you all, or the journey that's like just beginning. So it has to do with this page of disc. Tell me more about the page of disc. The sun. You have the sun twice. So this is your energy, right? It's information that you need. Information that you need, and I do think that it has been either a struggle to get this information, or there's been some very negative toxic energies that you've had to be around. But this leads to your Four of Wands. This leads to your life path, your purpose, for some marriage, starting a family, buying a house. Like, it's big deals. It's a big deal, the Four of Wands. So that's the information that you need. That's what you need. It's like the sun is letting you know that the fairy tale is possible here, and that you've kind of, I feel like you've clicked into it because you figured out this code that has to do with your perception. You figured out something here. It's like a code. It's like a quantum timeline shift. And I have hope, which is like the star card energy. The hope is saying that something that you've always wanted to manifest, look, it's tied to this fairy tale energy, is actually going to come about. Yes, you're a Nine of Cups. There's something here about you protecting your peace, protecting your own happiness. Making sure when things feel off that you listen to that. I still feel like the Four of Cups is more so avoiding on some sort of energy here. Is what it's really what it feels like to me. But so they're wanting to give you hope. That's nice. Tell me about the Eight of Cups and the Lovers, the Wheel of Fortune, and then the Two of Cups on the bottom. Heck yeah. Here, Leos. So Leos, you have a significant partnership. Whether this has to do with work or something like that. You have two. You have lots of twos. You have lots of twos, and you have the Wheel of Fortune in the upright. It just is saying, you know, well, no, it's not in the upright. It's sideways. I'm sorry. It means that you're in transition to this, that this is coming about. And you will be going in some sort. You've got to keep your thoughts positive and your perception of, like, somehow embodying that this energy is already here, already within you. Already real. Whatever it is that you're wanting. Whatever it is that you're wanting. And 1111. Nice. 1111 says, absolutely. The universe is arranging people and experiences on your path to help you succeed, and they're helping to wake you up to who you truly are. I'm awakening. 1111. That's what I have for you, Leos. I do have private readings available. If you would like one, the information is in the description box below, and I'm sending you so much love and light for your day.